It's a tragedy of immense proportion. An 80-year-old man collapsed in the Mumbai airport after he was denied a wheelchair by the airport and airline authorities. What exactly happened? Here is an octogenarian couple who was traveling from New York to Mumbai. After they landed, the flight apparently was supposed to land at 11:30 a.m. It landed at around 2 p.m. This is an Air India flight we are talking about. The couple, of course, had pre-booked wheelchairs for both of them. Only the wife managed to get a wheelchair. The 80-year-old husband offered to walk alongside his wife, probably never imagining that this is not the kind of distance that he'll be able to walk. And when he reached the immigration terminal, the man collapsed. He was taken to the nearby hospital where he was declared dead. Now, this incident has raised a lot of questions for all of us. It's extremely tragic, of course, that a man had to die for want of a wheelchair in an airport like Mumbai. Now, what it raises are some serious questions about the wheelchair facility, about the way the system works. And I'll tell you, as I have been somebody who has used this facility for an ailing relative of mine, and I could see how it is, the ordeal of waiting for a wheelchair, especially when you are traveling with an ailing patient, is excruciating. With elderly parents, it can be extremely difficult, extremely painful a wait. The arrival of the wheelchair often takes an inordinate amount of time. And that's, I suppose, what would have happened in this case. Even between the two, only one of them, the wife, got the wheelchair, despite the fact that the couple had booked wheelchairs when they booked their tickets. This is an Air India flight we are talking about that was coming from New York to Mumbai. The flight even landed late. Now, factor in all these things. It was a delayed flight, an elderly couple, 80 plus, already exhausted by the long journey. A New York to Mumbai, by any liberal estimate, is an over 12-hour long flight. You land here, you are made to wait for the wheelchair. So I imagine even for the wife to get the wheelchair would have taken a very long time. It would have made the couple wait for quite some time before they got just one wheelchair between the two of them. The husband offered to walk it. After all, what is the option? How long will they wait now for another wheelchair? So as he took this long walk of 1.5 kilometers, some of us who have traveled, we know how long a distance that is. It's not exactly the most pleasant of walks because there are a lot of people, there is crowding. And you arrive at the immigration terminal. There again, it's another ordeal waiting for you. Immigration is not a very simple, hassle-free business. That is where the man collapsed. And the flight, like I said, was also delayed. So all of this put together, I imagine it must have been sheer exhaustion that would have caused, some reports are saying that it was a heart attack. The question here is that the demand for wheelchair has increased over the years. So there's a clear demand-supply issue. The reason for the increase in demand is also because a lot of people who do not have mobility issues are also using wheelchair. Earlier, there was a requirement of a medical certificate that was done away with because of certain resistance that came in. But what it has done is it has increased the demand for wheelchair to an extent that even those who can walk it are now using wheelchair, and those who actually need it sometimes don't get the wheelchair, and it can be excruciatingly painful. As somebody who has traveled with an ailing relative, I can tell you this. The wait for a wheelchair for somebody who is ailing or who is old and elderly, and as it is, the whole ordeal of travel is difficult for them, it can get extremely mentally traumatic as well. And I imagine that is what would have happened in this case. And it's really unfortunate. The airline has issued a statement that they did their best on their part. They immediately rushed the passenger to the hospital. The airline is also trying to justify, saying the man offered to walk. We were going to give him a wheelchair. None of this works. We need to fix the system. The system is rotting, and this will simply not do.